Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ife Artistry. If this is your first time seeing my videos, you are highly welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching my videos, and you are also welcome back. Okay guys, so in today's video, as you can see, I am going to be working on a very dark model. So you guys requested that I create a look on a very dark skin, and that is exactly what I did today. So I am going to say that you should keep watching and see how we did this process. Okay, first of all, I start with cleaning her face with micellar water and the wipes, and after that I'm going to be moving into moisturizing her skin. I'm going to be using the Cetaphil moisturizer, and I'm going to, of course, moisturize every part of her face. I'm going to be putting the moisturizer everywhere, especially the under eyes. The under eyes actually need to be enough or so many hydrating products. So you put a lot there and then massage that into her skin. Okay guys, so before I did this process, I'm going to say this: I already sanitized my hands. My hands are so clean, so I'm going to be using my bare hands to massage it into the skin. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to just keep pressing in. The under eyes is always the one that comes later, so I'm just going to make sure that every product is really massaging to the skin before we move ahead with the next thing. Okay guys, so after that, I'm going to be putting on the sweat control. That's the Mehren skin prep sweat control. I use that as a sweat control. Okay guys, so I'm going to say this in this video. So she has an open pores, like her pores are so visible. So I'm going to be using my Zaron minimizing, sorry, pore minimizer. That's the name, sorry. So I'm going to be using my Zaron pore minimizer to minimize the pores that are so visible on her skin. I'm going to just be putting that the places that should actually be, clear. Okay guys, so after that, I'm going to be using my Mehren anti-shine as the oil control. Is a mattifying product, so I'm going to be putting that just on her T-zones and her brow area. Those are the places that actually tends to produce enough oil, like so many oils, before they transfer them to other parts of the face. So I'm just going to, like, just put them there and just massage it into the skin. So guys, after that, I'm going to be using my Kiss Beauty setting spray, of course, to lock in everything I've done on the face. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be using these two foundations. As you can see, my model is very dark, especially her body is actually very darker than her face. So I'm going to make sure that I match the body to her face. Guys, like, this is one of the most important things when you are doing makeup on a very dark skin. You have to make sure that from your foundation, everything match. If everything match from the foundation, like, that's the place it starts, honestly. So I'm just going to be using the V Beauty and the Jaydriz Cosmetics foundation. I'm going to be mixing that. So the Jaydriz is in shades 10. That's their darkest shade. So that foundation is really, really dark. As you can see, that's mostly the thing that you are seeing there. Okay guys, so like, I'm going to be using that to blend. I'm going to now blend those products into the skin. Like, after blending, you can just see how those products match now with her neck, because her face was actually very lighter than her body actually. So I was doing my best to make sure I matched them. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to now try and contour her face. She's actually very, very dark. I've not seen, like, the foundation that is, those are the darkest foundations that I had. Okay guys, so I was going to just add the Blot Beauty foundation in the shade Rosette. That is a very dark, not just that because it's very dark, but it has this warmth shade. Like, I mean, the undertone is kind of warm, so I was just going to put that around her contour area, because it's not as if the foundation and the contour shade is almost the same thing. Okay guys, so for her blush, this is actually the place I'm going to start to make the difference. So I'm going to be using a red shade a red shade lip stain for her blush. So when I start putting this on, you are going to start seeing a reflection of, like, a warmthness on her face, because, like, with the foundation, everything is looking, somehow. But with this, I'm going to start making, the warmthness that I want her face to, give. So because she's actually very dark, I started the process with the contour first. If you guys know me, you know that I first of all do the highlight before the contour. Okay, so moving on, I added this cheek glaze from TM Essentials. Unfortunately, I can't really remember the shade, but it's very, very dark. So because this shade actually has that warmth again, like I'm just adding it there just as a blush as well. Like it's not really serious, honestly. I just wanted to add it there because I feel like it's going to give this face like that warmthness, more of the warmthness that I want. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be using this Zikel Cosmetics concealer. The first shade I'm putting on is the caramel, and the next shade I'm going to be using will be the Zikel Cafe. These are one of the darkest shades of foundation that I had, and the Zikel Cafe used to be the darkest that I used to, because like I don't normally have people that are so dark. So when I put the Zikel Cafe on, I noticed like it's still light. So I had to put something that is a bit darker so that it can easily transition into her, uh, body or something. So what I did was I added my the remaining foundation from my mixing plate. I just mixed it with the concealer, and then it became just a bit darker. It's not as if it's really as dark as I would want it to be, but at least I could work my way around it. So first of all, I started using the same side of the beauty blender that I used in blending the foundation. So I used that to blend this out. So because the shade of my the shade of my foundation is still remaining in that side of the beauty blender, it's going to help me and diffuse it into her foundation, like into her body, because like I still had the shades, I still have the the tone of the foundation on that beauty blender. So it was not going to be hard for me to diffuse it into her body and stuff. Okay guys, so remember when I was doing everything, I still had to omit blending the under eyes immediately. I first of all blended every other place, leaving the under eyes for a while. This is just me trying to like blend everything to be in place. Okay, I equally did the cream contour. I think I did that before. Because I did the highlights, I just had to go back and redo it. So I think I waited for a while, and then I have to now go ahead and blend out the under eyes. I was going to blend it very, very well. This didn't really sit as much as I would want. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm going to be using the is the Merak Cosmetics setting powder in the shade Nutmeg. Nutmeg is their darkest shade. You can see like Nutmeg is their darkest. It's really dark, guys. So I'm going to be using that to set her under eyes. You can even see like it's being as if it's really light on her. So the model is really dark. She has a really dark skin, honestly. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and keep setting and keep setting and keep setting. I'm just going to be setting the highlighted areas. And guys, one of the most important things for me is maintaining her undertone. Honestly, maintaining her undertone was so important to me that I keep at it. I never wanted to alter that. Like do not try to alter their tone, because like do not. So I'm just going to set with the powder that I have, making sure that I maintain the tone. I just wanted brightness under the eyes a little bit more. That's why I'm using this shade, even though this shade is one of the darkest shade in my palette, but still I had to do that. If it was going to be I don't know, light on her, I was going to use my powder palette. Like my powder palette has a very dark shade, so but it's not bad. It's not bad. I love the undertone, I love the everything. So I'm just using that powder to set everywhere that I highlighted. And after that, then I got the Becharm Ageless Cosmetics powder palette. You know that the Becharm Ageless Cosmetics powder palette has this very, very dark shade at the center. That is not actually what I was using. I was using just the normal dark shade, because like that very, very dark shade have to be her contour, honestly, because if I use that dark shade as her main powder, so what am I going to use as her contour? So this is it now. I'm just adding that very, very, very dark shade as the contour. I'm just using it to blend out, but the very, very dark shade actually altered the orange, or will I say, the warmthness that was around her face before. Like everything is now dark. Yeah, unfortunately, because I equally placed it on the blush area. So but after that, I'm going to bring this my Zulu palette. I'm mixing the pink or red shade and the ponto range, so I'm just going to use that and warm back her face. Just gonna do that honestly, and doing it, it's actually brought back the warmth and the lightness on her face. So I'm going to put that equally around her face and equally on her blush, the places that I place the blush. Honestly, obviously, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to gently do that. So guys, as I was saying before, yeah, unfortunately the video has started. Okay guys, so after doing that, I'm going to go over to her brows. I'm going to now tame down the hairs of her brows, tame down the hairs, and then I'm going to be setting with my setting powder. That is the Beauty by AD setting powder. Okay, so I'm just gonna set with that, and after setting that, I'm going to dust out. I love how this setting powder just dust out. Okay guys, so the Nubia that I used to use. So I'm going to start outlining the brows with the my Nubia brow gel, and then my flat angled brush. But guys, you know that the Nubia, like, her skin shade is of course darker than the Nubia. So what I did was I mixed the Nubia with my black gel liner from Zaron, like the gel, no, not the brow gel. I mean the gel liner, like the normal gel liner for the lining of the eyes. So I mixed the black one with the Nubia, so that is how I get her exact tone that should be her that I should use in drawing her brows. Is not black, but is at least as dark as enough dark to bring out the brows. Because had it been I used the Nubia that I used to use, guys, you won't be seeing the brow because her skin is already darker than the brows. That, like, I mean, her skin is already darker than the brow gel. So I was done outlining the brows. I'm now going to use my pencil from the Davis pencil in shade 3, of course, and fill out the brows. I'm just going to make strokes, light strokes, but at this point I don't think I'm making light. I think I'm making a dark stroke because it needs to come out, like she's very dark. So I need to shade this powder to actually, I need to shade the brows to actually make a statement. Okay guys, so after that, I brought my Zikel concealer to conceal the brows. I'm just going to quietly conceal the brows, guys. Like, take it easy while concealing. Don't really rush so that you don't make silly mistakes. I always tell my students mostly. Okay, so I'm just going to take it gently and conceal. After concealing the first part of the under eyes, I move over to the second side, and I'm equally going to gently conceal that part too. I take it easy while I conceal when I conceal the brows. Like, I take it easy, guys, because if you are rushing, you mostly make mistakes, and you wouldn't want to be drawing and cleaning and drawing and cleaning of the brows. As if you're professional, I shouldn't be doing that. Okay guys, so I'm just going to, after concealing the under part of the brows, I'm just going to smudge it out, like basically smudging out, not cleaning, just smudge out or blend it together. Okay guys, so after that, I'm going to go ahead and conceal the upper part of the brows, even though I should not, because this makeup is already dark. So I don't want to, I was not supposed to be adding brightness on top of the under eyes, but it is what it is. So after that, I have to go ahead and start blending to make sure that I remove those brightness I'm seeing there. Okay guys, so after that, I'm going to go ahead and set the the brow bone. Basically, I'm just going to go ahead and set the brow bone with powder. And after setting the brow bones, I'm going to go ahead and bake using the same setting powder that I use in setting the under eyes, whatever, the Merak setting powder in nutmeg. So I'm going to use that and then bake. So I'm just going to take it easy. You can see, like, I'm gonna take it easy and just bake. This baking or setting powder, forget about the shade that it has here. It's not going to leave any shade on this face. afterwards is a translucent setting powder. Remember, I talk about translucent. They don't leave cast, they don't leave shades. Okay, guys. So after that, I'm going to be using my Benign white and as my eyeshadow base. I'm just going to quietly blend that on top of the eyelid. Just place that there. And after that, I'm using my Morphe and my Charlse palette. Charlse palette, and I'm using the shade I just showed you to make my first transition. I normally use that shade. I first of all go in with a lighter shade, then before I go in with a darker one at this, like, you know, when I mean when I'm talking about the transition. So I first of all go in with this light orange shade, and after putting that on, then I have to now go in with a more darker transition shade, because like mostly, unless I'm creating a very soft eyeshadow, that is when I don't go in with a darker shade of transitioning. If not so, I must go in with it. Like I love my transition like pronounced a bit, because I feel like that's the base of every eyeshadow transition. Don't joke with that. Like make it pronounced. I mean the transition, then every eyeshadow you place should now fall in. Okay guys, so moving on, I'm using a very dark shade. I think it's black or maybe very dark brown. I'm using that to on in her outer V. I think I was using black because I had in mind to place or use a dark eyeshadow in the inner part, so I had to use black, because you need to use or put on eyeshadow that can subdue. You can see the shade side. Yes, I choose blue, or I don't know if it's sky blue or something else, but you know, I had to, you know, and the outer part have to be something that can subdue this blue or this sky blue or whatever it is. I don't know the shade, sorry, my sense of colorimetry have gone bad. Okay guys, so I remember that there was a time I used a blue eyeshadow, and I used like I placed a blue eyeshadow and I used a purple shade to smudge it out. So I remember that, and I was like, why not try it here? Okay, so I used purple shade of a pigmented eyeshadow to smudge out the eyeshadow that I placed, and it worked perfect, honestly. So using purple to blend out blue works excellently, honestly. Like, can you see? Like, it was so lovely at the end of the day. Had it been I was using blue to blend this out still, probably it would have been nice, but I don't know how it would have actually been. And if you ask me the reason why I decided to place more things on this eyes, I would really tell you that I don't know. But I went ahead and put on like, yeah, pigment on top of the eyes. I don't know, because it's still giving me the same thing, like the same thing I achieved using just pigmented eyeshadows. That is what I still got, but it is what it is. I don't know why I love being dramatic, honestly. But anywho, we move, and after that, I'm going to now be lining the eyes. So I was using the Zaron gel line, of course, to line. So I'm just going to I think I love the look, the way I just looked at it now. That's why I shouted. So sorry guys. I'm just going to line the eyes, and after lining the upper part of the eyes, I'm going to line the under eyes. And I wanted to smoke out the under part of the eyes, so I was going to make my lining thick and then smoke it out, you can see. Okay, so after that I fixed the lashes, and then I'm using mascara to blush, to, you know, brush out the under eye hairs. And voila, this is it. Is looking amazing. So even before I was done with like placement, almost my eyeshadow, my powders or something has almost gone out. And so at a point I was like, you know what, let me don't finish here, let me allow Luca to tie her Gele. So the Ruka Gele, the baddest Gele stylist in Oka, begin to tie the Gele. So like, I specifically told her that I want Sego Gele. This is what I want, because we have been doing too many using Ashoke and stuff to do the Gele, and this is lovely. Like, Ruka killed it. Luca killed it. She's on Instagram. at Ruka Gele, Ruka Gele. So go and find her there. If you want any event that they tie Gele, honestly, look for her. She's good. Okay, guys. So after that, I now went ahead with setting every like I think just dusting out the excess setting powder. That's what I did, and it's as if I'm blending it into the skin. So I was done doing that. Then I have to go ahead and highlight the face or blush, add my blush, just add everything back. So after that, I used my cheek glaze again. I have to go back with that cheek glaze. I needed the face to be this dark. You can see, like, guys, I maintained the shade, I maintained her body tone, everything is intact, guys. So after that, I used my Morphe setting spray to set the face. And I must tell you, like, I love this look, because you can see how the skin, like, I'm telling you, the melanin is lovely, is beautiful, like, is beautiful, is giving. Her skin tone and everything is nice. Okay, guys, so after setting, of course, I use my beauty blender to push it in, and then I move over to the lips. I'm using a very like my dark brown lip stain. Of course, I didn't mix it with anything, I just placed it that way because she's as dark as the lip stain, honestly. Okay, guys, so I was blending that in, I blended it out. Now I'm adding the orange. I don't know why I'm adding orange. So I was using orange to blend it out, and now it's as if I didn't place anything on that lips. Okay, guys, so moving on, I'm using this nude lips. I'm using the nude lips to in the inner part of the inner side of her lips. You guys, do not mind me, honestly. I think this is my voiceover. I don't know if I'm hungry. Okay, guys, so moving on, I'm just smudging out or blending out the lips. I feel like the one I added was not enough, because I needed the lips to be that out there, pronounced, because she's dark, and I needed something that is not really popping shouty, but I needed something that is sweet on the lips, because the eyes is already has statements, but like in a dark shade, I needed the lips to be out. So that is it. I did that lips. I love this lips kind of complements this look. And after that, I put on the gloss, and oh, guys, this is it. This look is amazing. The everything, the Gele, the face, everything is amazing, everything is lovely. You can leave your nice comments, guys, if you want to learn how to do your dark skin makeup. I think you should follow this process, guys. You won't regret it. Okay, guys, so this is it. I used the spray on her face, and voila, this is the end of the makeup. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, put on your post notifications in case I post my new video. Bye.